we know our place, and we know that we're not climbing fjords and cutting the necks of goats. I mean, we're two dudes who like video games and classic black metal. So
Ghost Cult Magazine welcomes in the St. Louis black metal band Stormruler. How's it going?
how's it going, man?
Do I use your occult name? Do I use your human name? I have no idea how to address you. We didn't talk about this before I started recording.
No, my name's Jason.
Some people only call me Raven. You know, some people are very serious, and you're not.
Yeah.
But thank you, Jason. You seem like a fun guy.
Yeah, we don't take ourselves too seriously. I mean,
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
but we're also not, sitting in our basements, candles everywhere, doing seances and trying to.
That's okay too. There's a time for all that. I always say it's like, you know, if you love your art, it is the most important thing. It's your baby, right?
Right.
It is important to you, but also and I love black metal, and I have for many years, and I can cite all my favorite first wave records and things like that.
Right.
But also, nobody has a lack of self-awareness. Like, in all seriousness, and people can come at me in the comments, most black metal bands, especially your iconic ones, they have no sense of self-awareness.
Yeah,
as discussed.
Yeah, there's a place for it, I guess, but we know our place, and we know that we're not fucking climbing fjords and cutting the necks of goats. I mean, we're two dudes who like video games and classic black metal. So,
and goats are wonderful. Actually, they're sweet as can be. You ever petted a goat? It's like petting a cat.
my family owns some goats, man. Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right. I did not know you could own goats in St. Louis, but maybe they're not in St. Louis.
We're from the rural parts of Missouri. I just happen to live in St. Louis now.
There it is. There it is. So your new album, Sacred Rites and Black Magick, which I said like 10 times wrong off air, but I just said it correctly, is out now. You guys are signed to Napalm Records, an incredible record label.
Yeah,
you have
kind of us.
Yeah, you have this huge tours coming up. You guys are playing metal festivals in Europe next year. So this has been kind of a rise. But before we go talk about the new record and all that awesomeness, give us the 1 minute Cliff's Notes origin story of the band for our fans that may not be acquainted with you guys.
Well, Jesse and I, we've known each other a long time, but we got reacquainted when we both became hired guns in another St. Louis black metal band. They're not from St. Louis, from Illinois, but semantics, right? But we basically we started hanging out again, and we kind of just went back and forth about how a lot of black metal bands these days are not really playing black metal like they used to. And we're like, well, fuck it, let's just write our own black metal record, because the whole DSBM thing was huge for a long time, and black metal to us isn't about being fucking suicidal and depressed. It's about being warlike and, tough, if you will, whatever. So we're like, let's just combine all of our favorite things about black metal and put it on one record. We wrote the record in 2 months, and then over the course of a year, kind of reworked a couple of things, and then recorded it ourselves, and then finally decided to put it out, and it happened to catch wind and took off. It was never planned. We weren't like a band playing shows in St. Louis for the past 10 years and finally got our big break. It was we wrote a record and it worked out.
Yo, sometimes that's how it happens. And I will also say, as much as I love a lot of American black metal bands, there's a spectrum of different kinds. I'm not saying that they're on the spectrum, maybe they are, but there's a spectrum of artists, across different subgenres, all the little sub-elements of the genre as a whole. And so I do feel like your newer bands in black metal in Europe are still kind of holding on to those early classic sounding bands, especially that 90s second wave. And American bands are here's also my ambient dubstep project, and which is fine. I like a lot of different
black metal, and I feel like over the last decade and a half is, like I said, just been super Northwest Portland depressive black metal for
well, in particular the DS stuff I've never really been a fan of. I'm not down with it. I got enough loss in my life that I don't need to dwell on it in my music. I need to escape from my pain of those things to the music, but that's me.
Fuck off.
Right. And then you have other bands that aren't strictly black metal, but like bands that are getting very popular, but have like black metal roots, if you will. Like Goat Horror has a lot of Satan and black metal in their vocals and lyrics, and Midnight is becoming, from the Midwest, a humongous band right now. And I would, sort of Motorhead worshiping black metal fans.
They don't embrace the second wave as much as they embrace first wave, and like Goat Horror's like, Goat Horror's Goat Horror.
A lot of people in their basements practicing their urs,
Yeah. The us and the blah.
And a blah. It's always time for a good blah. Yeah, man, it sounds, it's, like this record is, like, I definitely went back, and this record is definitely sounds like you've been building to this. This is a very lengthy record. There's a lot of layers. You really worked on this. There's just a lot of, there's many tracks, but it's also like very well composed and thought out, which I like. It's not just like, let's throw it all out and see what sticks. It's like this was made with a purpose.
Like I said, the first record we just did to do, and then it got picked up and took off. And then it was like, all right, well, we kind of already had material for the second record, but after, like, even before we ever got picked up and before we ever even put out the first record, we had second record material. But it was like, once it got picked up and took off, and then it came time to do the second album cycle, we're like, all right, let's think about this a little more now. Like, we're a real band. Let's, put some thought behind it and see what we can do. And that's, I think it shows a little bit as far as like in comparison to the first record. It's a step up, I think.
Right on. And is this record in any way, it seems like very threaded together? Is it a concept record or just kind of loose collection of songs?
A little bit of both. I mean, lyrically, there's no conceptual or concept or whatever. Musically, there is here and there. There's like some riff reprisals throughout the record. Like, you might hear a melody early on that you'll hear towards the end of the record as well. But lyrically, there's not. We have like tossed around the idea of like maybe the next record or the record after that or something, doing a big full concept record. But right now, no.
And then I guess that leads into my next question, which was, would you perform whole parts of this album or the whole album in one go? Is that a thing or not interesting to you?
We would like to, yeah. We were talking, it's like, we'll do an evening with Stormruler and we'll just do the whole first record and the whole second record. But yeah, no, the way we like have it set up, it's definitely possible to play the whole record, as far as like, we don't have a shitload of keys and like sounds going on in the songs as opposed to like just in the interludes. So the interludes will, trigger a sample, dim the lights, fog goes everywhere, and then fucking, kick out the next jam. But it would be fun to do that.
Yeah, I could see it. I think there's a theatricality, even if it's not apparent, videos or promo shoots, flair, if you will. The black metal flair bands have their different things, and you guys definitely seem like you have like a moody aesthetic going on, that I think I like, and I think could translate live probably.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, the record is out now, and obviously you got, like I said, you have this huge bunch of tours coming up, which is insane, with some of the biggest bands ever, and you guys, which is great for you. I know that. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of challenges right now in touring. So a lot
of competition right now, because I mean, like, everybody's trying to tour now, especially since like COVID's let up and everything, and everybody's able to tour. So everybody's trying to get out there. And
then Europe next year, that's, could be daunting, but it sounds awesome. I think Inferno is one of them, right? Inferno Fest is one.
Mm-hmm. I was stoked about that one. I'm really hoping we play the same day as Emperor and Odium, because I'm really wanting to catch Odium. I really want to catch Emperor. It's one of my favorite black metal bands.
Mine too. I just saw them this summer. It was sick. I was like, I can't believe.
Psycho? Or wait, did you go to Psycho?
Yeah. And we've covered Inferno because we started in Europe to cover like underground stuff, kind of like Inferno. So we've actually been there. Not me personally, but we've been out there, and as a website, as a group, and they always do a phenomenal job. So you're in for a good time. Things are expensive in Scandinavia, not gonna lie, from what I can tell.
Well, we toured with Borknagar back in April and May. And we were talking about that because we had known that we were going over to Europe, and we got to talking about the beer prices and shit in Scandinavia. And in general, but
they should brew more of their own so they don't have to import it all. It seems like an obvious thing, but Borknagor also rules, so that sounds amazing. So you guys have your sea legs under you in terms of touring the world, so it's not gonna, you know what to do next time. Sounds like you will be prepared. Super stoked, man. Super stoked for your band.
But Jesse and I, we've been playing in bands for a long time, so it's like it's not unfamiliar to us. Getting onto this scale is a little different now that we're handling it ourselves and not just having someone else handle it. But yeah, we're learning. We know we're learning. We're seasoned, but we're also still learning.
There you go. There you go. Other than who you're coming up with, which is going to be insane, if there's one band you would like to open for that you haven't yet, or that's not in the planning, like the festival, who would you like to open for?
The first meeting with our manager we ever had, which is Maurizio Iacciono, we were talking about, like future plans and what to expect and what we can do and all these like road maps and whatnot. And we told him, one, we want to play the boat, put us on the boat. And also, as soon as that Demu tour comes to the States, we want to be on it. So, Demu.
Yo, both. And I assume you 70 tons of metal, you probably mean.
Yeah.
There are some other metal cruises. I hear rumblings that there's going to be some new metal cruises coming around. So, that's also a thing. But yeah, we love the 70 tons people and have been on that also. And I just interviewed Maurizio, actually. That's coming to the channel soon. Probably before this interview runs. That interview will run soon because his record's out already for Invictus. So, yeah, man, that's a how'd you get hooked up with him? Did he find you? Did you find him?
So when we got signed to Napalm, our A&R, he knew Maurizio, and he kind of just like pitched the album to him, and Maurizio at the time had just gotten an opening as the black metal band that he was managing at the time got a little bit of controversy, and he dropped them. So we just hit it at the right time. He pitched the record to him. He's like, yeah, he believes in it. So he took it, and here we are now. He's been the one behind us. So
awesome. Love to hear it. Congratulations on this record. Congratulations on all these awesome things happening for you. You guys have worked your asses off. And we look forward to catching you either here on tour in these couple of big tours or over in Europe next spring or summer. That's amazing.
Sure. Where are you located at?
I'm in San Francisco. Ghost Cult is worldwide. So we have people in the UK and Scandinavia, Netherlands, and here in America, most of the big cities. So
we'll be back on a US tour, I think in the spring of next year. We're still waiting for the dates, but it's in the works right now. So we'll be out there.
Rad. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day. Keep it true. And thanks for hanging out with Ghost Cult. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.